sir. I have sipped, lapped, and taken gin intravenously, but I have never swilled.
There was one scene in MASH that CBS refused to produce. It was never meant to air, and it's easy to see why. The script involved a dark and controversial plot that even the show's creators thought went too far. In this video, we'll dive into what MASH is all about, its famous cast, and explore some of its other controversial episodes and scenes. Join us as we uncover the untold story behind this forbidden script and why it was kept from viewers. What is MASH? MASH, standing for Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, is a landmark American TV show that aired from 1972 to 1983. It is set during the Korean War, which took place from 1950 to 1953, and it follows the lives of the staff at the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. This unit, located close to the front lines, provides urgent medical care to wounded soldiers. The story of MASH focuses on the daily lives and challenges faced by the doctors, nurses, and support staff of the 4077th. The main character is Captain Benjamin Hawkeye Pierce, a highly skilled surgeon known for his sharp wit and irreverent attitude toward military rules. He is often joined by Captain Trapper John McIntyre, his partner in both surgery and humor. Other important characters include Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan, the head nurse who starts as a strict officer but becomes more compassionate as the series goes on. Major Frank Burns, another surgeon, serves as a frequent antagonist due to his incompetence and hypocrisy. The unit is led by Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, a bumbling but kind commanding officer who provides stability amidst the chaos. One of the unique aspects of MASH is its blend of comedy and serious themes. The show uses humor to cope with the grim realities of war. Episodes often mix slapstick comedy, satire, and poignant moments that highlight the psychological and emotional toll of the conflict on the medical staff. This mix is central to the show's appeal. The comedic elements, like practical jokes and witty banter, lighten the mood and provide relief from the constant stress of surgeries and treating severe injuries. At the same time, the series does not shy away from addressing the horrors of war, including the physical and emotional scars it leaves behind. A key theme of MASH is the futility and destructiveness of war. The show critiques the senselessness of conflict and the suffering it causes, often through the cynical perspective of Hawkeye and his comrades. They frequently question the purpose of the war and the decisions made by military leaders. The series portrays the daily struggles of the medical staff as they deal with a never-ending stream of casualties. This serves as a constant reminder of the high cost of war, both in terms of human lives and the emotional toll on those who serve. Through its characters, MASH emphasizes the value of life and the senselessness of the violence that endangers it. Another prominent theme in MASH is the clash between individuality and authority. The characters often rebel against military regulations and the authoritarian figures enforcing them. This tension is particularly evident in the interactions between the irreverent surgeons and the more rigid military officers. Hawkeye and Trapper, in particular, are known for their disregard for military decorum. They prioritize personal freedom and ethical responsibility over blind obedience to orders. This rebellion against authority is not just for the sake of defiance, it often stems from a desire to provide better care for their patients and to maintain their own sanity in a chaotic environment. MASH also delves into issues of medical ethics. The doctors at the 4077th often face difficult decisions regarding patient care and the allocation of limited resources. They are forced to make quick, life-or-death decisions with far-reaching consequences. The show portrays the ingenuity and resourcefulness required to provide medical treatment in a war zone, where supplies are scarce and conditions are far from ideal. The medical staff's ability to improvise and adapt is a recurring theme. They frequently use unconventional methods and makeshift equipment to save lives. This aspect of the show highlights the dedication and resilience of the characters who are committed to doing their best despite the challenging circumstances. Cast: Alan Alda, Hawkeye Pierce. Alan Alda, originally named Alfonso Joseph d'Abruzzo, was born on January 28, 1936, in New York City. He is best known for his role as Captain Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce in MASH. As Hawkeye, Alda played a sharp-witted and caring surgeon who quickly became the heart of the show. His humor and empathy for his fellow soldiers made his character unforgettable. Alda's portrayal earned him several awards, including multiple Emmys and Golden Globes. Alda's career didn't stop with MASH. He showed his talent in films like The Aviator and Crimes and Misdemeanors. On TV, he had memorable roles in The West Wing and 30 Rock. Besides acting, Alda is a skilled director and writer, directing many episodes of MASH and writing several books, such as Never Have Your Dog Stuffed and If I Understood You, Would I Have This Look on My Face? In his personal life, Alda married Arlene Weiss, a musician and photographer, in 1957. They have 3 daughters together. Alda is also a strong supporter of science communication and founded the Alan Alda Center for Communicating Science at Stony Brook University. Despite being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2015, Alda continues to be active in his advocacy work and remains an inspiration. Wayne Rogers, Trapper John McIntyre. Wayne Rogers, born William Wayne McMillan. Rogers III, on April 7, 1933, in Birmingham, Alabama, played Captain Trapper John McIntyre in MASH. As Hawkeye's close friend and surgical partner during the first 3 seasons, Trapper's skills and camaraderie made him a beloved character. After leaving MASH in 1975, Rogers explored other acting opportunities and starred in the TV series House Calls. Beyond acting, he found great success in finance and investments. Rogers became a regular panelist on the Fox News channel's Cashin' In, sharing his financial expertise. Rogers was married twice and had 2 children. He passed away on December 31, 2015, leaving behind a legacy of achievements in both entertainment and finance. His role as Trapper John remains one of his most memorable, endearing him to fans of the show. Loretta Swit, Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan. Loretta Swit, born Loretta Jane Swed on November 4, 1937, in Passaic, New Jersey, played Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan, the head nurse at the 4077th. Initially a strict and by-the-book officer, her character grew more compassionate and complex throughout the series. Swit's performance earned her 2 Emmy Awards and widespread acclaim. After MASH, Swit continued to work in television and theater, appearing in various shows and stage productions. She is also a talented watercolor artist and a dedicated animal rights advocate. Swit authored Sweetheart: The Watercolor Artistry and Animal Activism of Loretta Swit, showcasing her artistic skills and commitment to animal welfare. Swit has been a prominent figure in animal rights activism, dedicating much of her time to this cause. Her portrayal of Major Houlihan is a significant part of her legacy, showing her ability to bring depth and humanity to her roles. McLean Stevenson, Henry Blake. McLean Stevenson, born Edgar McLean Stevenson Jr. on November 14, 1927, in Normal, Illinois, played Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, the well-meaning but often clumsy commanding officer of the 4077th. His character met a tragic end when Blake's plane was shot down in the 3rd season, creating a pivotal and emotional moment in the series. Stevenson left MASH to explore other opportunities, starring in the TV comedy Hello, Larry and other shows. Before becoming an actor, Stevenson served in the U.S. Navy. He was married 3 times and had 3 children. He passed away on February 15, 1996. Stevenson's role as Henry Blake remains one of the most memorable aspects of his career, showcasing his ability to blend humor and emotion effectively. Larry Linville, Frank Burns. Larry Linville, born Lawrence Levon. Linville, on September 29, 1939, in Ojai, California, played Major Frank Burns, the self-righteous and often bumbling surgeon. Linville's character provided a lot of the comic relief with his incompetence and hypocrisy. He left MASH after the 5th season to pursue other opportunities in television and film. Linville appeared in various TV shows and movies, including Grandpa Goes to Washington and Night Partners. Despite leaving MASH, his role as Frank Burns remained one of his most memorable. Linville was married 5 times and had 1 child. He passed away on April 10, 2000. His portrayal of Frank Burns is still remembered for its humor and unique personality. Gary Berghoff, Radar O'Reilly. Gary Berghoff, born Gary Rich Berghoff on May 24, 1943, in Bristol, Connecticut, played Corporal Walter Radar O'Reilly. Known for his innocent demeanor and uncanny ability to anticipate the needs of his superiors, Berghoff's portrayal of Radar earned him an Emmy Award. Radar became one of the show's most beloved characters. After leaving MASH in 1979, Berghoff appeared in several TV shows and films, including Small Kill and Behind the Waterfall. He is also an accomplished wildlife artist and drummer. Berghoff has been married twice and has 3 children. His role as Radar O'Reilly remains a significant part of his career, endearing him to fans with his heartfelt and sincere performance. Jamie Farr, Max Klinger. Jamie Farr, born Jamil Joseph Farah on July 1, 1934, in Toledo, Ohio, played Corporal Maxwell Q. Klinger, who famously dressed in women's clothing in hopes of being discharged for insanity. As the series progressed, Klinger evolved into a more competent and complex soldier, eventually becoming the company clerk after Radar's departure. Farr's post-MASH career included roles in the Cannonball Run films and the TV show After MASH. He also remained active in theater and charity work. Farr, of Lebanese descent, has been married to Joy Ann Richards since 1963. They have 2 children. His portrayal of Klinger is one of the most iconic aspects of MASH, known for its humor and depth. Mike Farrell, B.J. Honeycutt. Mike Farrell, born Michael Joseph Farrell on February 6, 1939, in St. Paul, Minnesota, joined MASH in its 4th season as Captain B.J. Honeycutt, Hawkeye's new surgical partner. Honeycutt was known for his dedication to his family and his dry humor. Farrell's performance was widely praised, adding a new dynamic to the series. After MASH, Farrell starred in the TV series Providence and became a successful producer and director. He is also a prominent activist for human rights and environmental causes. Farrell has been married to actress Shelley Fabares since 1984 and has 2 children from his first marriage. His role as B.J. Honeycutt remains a highlight of his career, showcasing his ability to bring warmth and depth to his characters. MASH, season by season. Season 1, 1972-1973. The first season of MASH aired from 1972 to 1973 and set the stage for a series that would become iconic. Against the backdrop of the Korean War, viewers were introduced to the 4077th MASH unit. Main characters like Hawkeye Pierce and Trapper John McIntyre quickly became well known. The show expertly mixed humor with the harsh realities of war, creating a unique and appealing tone. One memorable episode from this season is Sometimes You Hear the Bullet. In it, Hawkeye's childhood friend visits the camp, but sadly dies during surgery. This episode is a perfect example of how Mass H combined comedy with deep emotional moments, highlighting the personal losses of war. Season 2, 1973-1974. The second season, which aired from 1973 to 1974, delved deeper into character development and tackled more serious topics. The show began exploring the complexities of the characters' lives amid the chaos of war. This season solidified Mass H's reputation for blending humor with meaningful content. A standout episode from this season is Deal Me Out. It revolves around a poker game among the characters, showcasing their camaraderie and the absurdity of war. The episode highlights how the characters use humor and games to cope with the constant stress and danger. Season 3, 1974-1975. The third season, airing from 1974 to 1975, continued to explore the characters' lives and the challenges they faced. This season is particularly notable for its dramatic conclusion, which left a lasting impact on the series. Abyssinia, Henry is the standout episode. In a shocking twist, Colonel Henry Blake is killed as he heads home after his tour of duty. The unexpected and somber ending was a bold move for television at the time, leaving both characters and viewers in shock. Season 4, 1975-1976. Season 4, which aired from 1975 to 1976, introduced new dynamics with the arrival of B.J. Hunnicutt and Colonel Potter. These new characters brought fresh perspectives and interactions, keeping the series engaging and dynamic. The Interview is a notable episode from this season. Presented in black and white, it features real interviews with the characters, offering deeper insights into their experiences and thoughts. This innovative storytelling approach provided a more intimate look at the impact of war on the unit members. Season 5, 1976-1977. The fifth season, airing from 1976 to 1977, continued to explore complex themes and character development. The characters often faced moral and ethical dilemmas, reflecting the challenging situations of wartime. Dear Sigmund is a standout episode. Major Sidney Friedman writes letters to Sigmund Freud, reflecting on the psychological impact of war. This episode offers a deep and introspective look at the mental health challenges faced by the characters. Season 6, 1977-1978. The sixth season, which aired from 1977 to 1978, focused on relationships and personal growth. Significant character developments occurred, with the characters becoming more nuanced and their relationships evolving. Comrades in Arms, a two-part episode, is particularly notable. In it, Hawkeye and Margaret are stranded together, leading to significant bonding between the two. This storyline added depth to their characters and their relationship, highlighting the complexities of human connections in wartime. Season 7, 1978-1979. Season 7, airing from 1978 to 1979, maintained the balance of humor and drama that the series was known for. The season also experimented with innovative storytelling techniques, keeping the series fresh and engaging. Point of View is a standout episode. Told entirely from the perspective of a wounded soldier, this episode offers a unique narrative approach. It provides a fresh perspective on the events at the 4077th, highlighting the experiences of those who passed through the unit. Season 8, 1979-1980. The eighth season, which aired from 1979 to 1980, saw the characters facing increasingly difficult situations. The ongoing strain of the war was reflected in the storylines, adding to the series' depth and realism. Goodbye, Radar is a notable episode. The departure of Corporal Radar O'Reilly is a heartfelt moment that underscores his importance to the unit. His departure marked a significant change for the characters in the series. Season 9, 1980-1981. Season 9, airing from 1980 to 1981, explored more mature and serious themes. The characters confronted personal and professional challenges, reflecting the ongoing impact of the war on their lives. Death Takes a Holiday is a standout episode. The team works to keep a soldier alive on Christmas, highlighting the contrast between the brutality of war and the holiday spirit. This episode is a poignant reminder of the human cost of war. Season 10, 1981-1982. The 10th season, which aired from 1981 to 1982, continued to develop the character arcs and address the harsh realities of war. The storylines remained compelling and relevant, maintaining the series' high standards. where "There's a will, there's a war" is a notable episode. In it, Hawkeye writes his will under fire, reflecting on his life and relationships. This introspective episode provides a deep and personal look at Hawkeye's character. Season 11, 1982-1983. The 11th and final season, which aired from 1982 to 1983, provided closure for the characters and the series as a whole. The concluding episodes wrapped up long-running storylines and offered a fitting end to the beloved series. Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen is the most notable episode of this season and the series finale. Blending humor, tragedy, and hope, this episode provided a powerful and emotional conclusion, leaving a lasting impact on its audience. The controversial script that CBS refused to air. MASH was famous for its unique blend of humor and serious themes, often pushing the limits of what was acceptable on TV. Yet, there was one episode that went too far for CBS, resulting in it never being aired. This episode, titled Hawkeye on the Double, would have added more depth to the show's portrayal of complex human relationships during wartime. In this episode, the main character, Hawkeye Pierce, played by Alan Alda, finds himself in romantic relationships with two nurses at the 4077th MASH unit. This storyline highlighted Hawkeye's charm and flirtatious nature, while also exposing his flawed human side. The episode aimed to explore themes of deceit, infidelity, and the consequences of romantic relationships in a high-stress environment. As the plot unfolds, the two nurses discover they are both involved with Hawkeye. Instead of confronting him directly, they decide to teach him a lesson he won't forget by pretending they are both pregnant. This revelation sends Hawkeye into a panic as he faces the possible outcomes of his actions. Hawkeye on the Double was a bold episode for its time. It suggested infidelity and the moral issues related to it, which was deemed inappropriate for television in the early 1970s. CBS found the plot too spicy and morally questionable, fearing negative reactions from viewers. Larry Gelbart, co-creator of Mass H, explained that the network was uncomfortable with the episode's implications. The potential to offend viewers and the moral ambiguity presented led to its rejection. CBS cited concerns about the episode's moral implications and the possible negative audience reactions. Despite the show's history of tackling serious and sometimes controversial subjects, this episode was seen as going too far. The rejection of Hawkeye on the Double shows the delicate balance MASH often maintained between humor and serious themes. The episode was meant to explore the complexities of human relationships and the consequences of deceit, adding depth to Hawkeye's character. However, the network's decision reflects the societal norms and sensitivities of the time, highlighting the limitations on television content. Although Hawkeye on the Double never aired, its script wasn't lost. Years later, it was included as a bonus feature in the MASH Martinis and Medicine Collection DVD box set, giving fans a glimpse into this controversial episode and the creative process behind the show. The episode's controversial nature and eventual rejection sparked discussions about censorship, artistic freedom, and evolving television standards. It serves as a reminder of the changing media landscape and the ongoing negotiations between creative expression and audience sensitivities. In the broader context of Mass H, Hawkeye on the Double presents an interesting what-if scenario. If it had aired, it might have added a new dimension to Hawkeye's character and sparked significant discussion among viewers. Its rejection underscores the cautious approach networks often took to avoid potential controversy, aiming to balance creative storytelling with audience expectations and societal norms. Other controversial episodes. Abyssinia Henry, Season 3, Episode 24, 1975. One of the most controversial episodes in Mass H's history is Abyssinia Henry. This episode marked a significant turning point for the series, as it showcased the brutal reality of war in a way that few sitcoms had dared to do. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, played by McLean Stevenson, was a beloved character whose departure from the show was both unexpected and deeply emotional. In the episode, Henry Blake receives his discharge orders and prepares to return home. The camp throws him a farewell party, celebrating his long-awaited departure from the war zone. However, the episode takes a dark turn in its final moments. As the characters celebrate, Radar O'Reilly enters the operating room to deliver devastating news. Henry's plane has been shot down over the Sea of Japan, and there are no survivors. The decision to kill off Henry Blake was a bold move by the show's creators. It reflected the unpredictable and tragic nature of war, which often claimed lives without warning. The scene's impact was profound, leaving both the characters and the audience in shock. Many viewers were outraged by the sudden and brutal nature of Henry's death, and the network received a significant amount of backlash. Despite this, the episode is remembered as a pivotal moment in television history, illustrating the show's willingness to confront the grim realities of war. The Interview, Season 4, Episode 25, 1976. The Interview is another episode that stands out for its controversial approach. Filmed in black and white, this episode takes the form of a mock documentary. A war correspondent visits the 4077th MASH unit and conducts interviews with the main characters, asking them about their experiences and thoughts on the war. The candid responses from the characters provide a stark contrast to the show's usual comedic tone. They speak openly about the horrors of war, their fears, and their coping mechanisms. The realistic portrayal of their experiences adds a level of gravity that was rarely seen in sitcoms at the time. The black and white format and the interview style give the episode a documentary feel, making it more powerful and impactful. However, this departure from the norm also made it a controversial episode. Some viewers found the stark realism unsettling, while others appreciated the honest depiction of the psychological toll of war. The Interview remains one of the most memorable episodes of Mass H for its unique approach and its willingness to tackle difficult subjects head-on. Dreams, Season 8, Episode 22, 1980. Dreams is an episode that delves deep into the subconscious fears and anxieties of the main characters. In this surreal and dark episode, the characters are overwhelmed by the relentless demands of their work. Exhausted and sleep-deprived, they each experience vivid and disturbing dreams that reveal their deepest fears and traumas. The episode's dream sequences are haunting and symbolic. Hawkeye dreams of being trapped in an endless surgery, unable to save his patients. Margaret Houlihan dreams of a romantic encounter with a soldier that turns into a nightmare of abandonment. Each dream highlights the psychological scars left by the war and the constant threat of death. The unconventional format and the exploration of such dark themes made Dreams a controversial episode. Some viewers appreciated the insight into the characters' minds, while others found the episode's tone too bleak for a sitcom. Despite the mixed reactions, Dreams is a powerful example of Mass's ability to push the boundaries of traditional television storytelling. Hawkeye's Breakdown, Season 11, Episode 16, 1983. The series finale, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, is perhaps the most famous episode of Mass H. Within this lengthy finale, one scene in particular stands out for its intensity and controversy. The episode includes a flashback where Hawkeye Pierce recalls a traumatic event that led to his mental breakdown. In this flashback, Hawkeye is on a bus with other refugees, hiding from enemy soldiers. To keep the group hidden, everyone must remain silent. When a baby begins to cry, the mother smothers the child to prevent detection, ultimately killing the baby. This horrifying moment triggers Hawkeye's breakdown, leading him to seek psychiatric help. The graphic and disturbing nature of this scene shocked many viewers. It highlighted the extreme psychological toll of war and the desperate measures people take to survive. The scene's intensity and the moral ambiguity it presented sparked significant debate about its appropriateness for television. However, it also underscored the show's commitment to portraying the harsh realities of war, even in its final moments. Unpatriotic episode concept. Larry Gelbart, one of the creators of Mass H, once proposed an episode that was ultimately rejected by CBS for being too unpatriotic. In this unproduced episode, the troops stand outside in the cold, hoping to get sick enough to be sent home. This concept reflected a grim and realistic view of the desperation felt by soldiers trying to escape the horrors of war. The network deemed this idea too controversial, fearing that it would portray the soldiers in a negative light and offend viewers. This decision highlights the delicate balance that Mass H had to maintain between its realistic portrayal of war and the network's concerns about public perception and viewer sensitivities. The rejection of this episode concept illustrates the challenges faced by the show's creators in pushing the boundaries of television content. It also sheds light on the limitations imposed by the network, which sometimes hindered the show's ability to fully explore the darker aspects of war.